Well, hello, children of the night, and welcome to Tarot Nights with the Hanged Empress. This week we have a full supermoon coming up in Aries, and it is the final supermoon of this cycle. I've been talking about it this whole time. Now I have confirmation. I have done the research. I have looked back. Supermoons do, in fact, come in groups of threes. Once a year you get a set of full super moons and a set of new supermoons. But what's different about this particular set that we have is the mirror effect of epigee and perigee, and that's the dramatic thing that I've been talking about this whole time. So if you go back from December of last year into February of this year was our first set of 3 supermoons, and they were super new moons that came in with a pairing of micro full moons. When you have a micro moon, the moon is the farthest away that it possibly can be, and when you have a super moon, it is as close as it can possibly be. The epigee and perigee do not typically line up in a way where you would have the moon moving as far as it possibly could go and then coming as close as it possibly could in a matter of 2 weeks. That's not common. That's not normal. That's weird, actually. So, this being our final supermoon coming up from the micro moon and then leading up into our next month of moons where we have a pair of eclipses to close out this whole big cycle once and for all, for really, yeah, it's crazy, interesting, neat energy. Really love it. Hey, look, I tiraded a little bit longer, getting into some astrology with you guys. Just a little bit. No professional am I, but I'm learning, I'm growing. We all are. And as I said, I feel like it's very much related to these dramatic moons that we've had this cycle, this year. Everything that we've been going through is just transformation after transformation. I'm not the same person I was when I started this. Guarantee you aren't either. If you really look at it, if you really, you have those mornings you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm somebody else now. I'm a better, stronger version of who I used to be, and it's beautiful. It's awesome. It's so much fun. So, getting into this full supermoon, it's in Aries, and it is, again, our final stages of this dramatic growth process that we've been going through. So, it's kind of nice that it's ending in our head, which is where Aries rules. It's in our heads. This is us being strong in our minds, strong in our determination, strong in our decisions, walking your talk, being that person that you said you were going to be. That is the general energy for this Aries full supermoon that's coming up. And I am just so excited to get into it with you guys. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's go do our reads. Well, hello, Pisces. How's it been? Did we just see you? Yes, we did. We're waxing and waning. Get it? Yeah. I thought it was cute. I think I was supposed to tap back in and figure out our growth progression for this, but I'm just gonna let it fly. Wherever we're at, whatever we're doing, whatever we need to talk about, it's gonna come out. Do I feel unprepared? A little, but with this Knight of Cups coming out reversed, I think you get me just a little bit. Not fully prepared for this, but kind of, it wasn't fully reversed. It was, kind of turned like this. But, also, I still feel movement from this card. It's clumsy. It's clumsy movement, for sure. But movement. Why are we coming out so reversed? Saying no to the devil you know. We have 6 of Cups and a devil. Also, reversed. I was just going to speak the words, I need a hanged man to make this make sense to me. I just had that thought. Like, this would make sense if I saw the hanged man. Because we have all these cards reversed. And that was throwing me for a loop. And I was like, this card would make these cards make sense to me. Why are these cards upside down? Because that is the perspective that this hangman is holding right now. He's seeing all of these things upside down because he's looking at them from a different perspective. Thank you, cards. Thank you, universe. That was funny. That was beautiful. I wish I could have gotten the words out before the cards dropped, because that would have just, like, really iterated how that played out a little bit more for you, but that's how that went down. That's how that went down. Okay. That was so cool. I love tarot. It's fun. It really is. You think a thought and a card pops out and you're like, confirmation. Yes. Yes, that is correct. Why is our Knight of Cups, our Six of Cups, and our Devil upside down? Because we are looking at these things from a whole different perspective now. We are looking at the way that we approached love and emotions. We are looking at our past, the good times and the bad times. We are looking at our addictions, the things that have held us back, that have held us down, that have been fucking with our lives for so long. And we're looking at all of these things from a brand new perspective. We can't figure out what to do with these things when they are sitting right side up. If they are way too much, you turn yourself around, flip upside down for a minute, and look at it different. Look at it differently. You may even feel like you're going a little bit blindfolded. Like you're choosing to not focus so hard on these past mistakes, on the past in general, on these things that have been holding you back. If you just kind of la la la, I can't hear you kind of energy. Yeah. Yeah, because we're fighting to turn that wheel. We know what we want, and we can't quite see it yet. But we know that the gods can see it. We know that we have oppositions. We know that we have people that are blocking us, that are standing in our own way, whether this is internal conflict or external conflict. What we have down on the ground is struggle. But what we already know we have going for us is deity, is divine energy. Divine intervention and energy. Both of those words at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly why you feel like you have to do this. You have to go out into the night and just completely flip everything. Your whole perspective, your whole perception of everything that you have ever thought. Tune it all out. Blah, 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 pain. I can't feel you anymore. You're in the past. You can't hurt me anymore. All of these struggles, all of these fights, they are piddly human shit. And what we have going on for us is divine. What we are moving towards is truth, is light, is a pure and clear mind. See that Aries full moon? That clear head, that clear idea. You don't need to see what's going on around you to know where you're going. Gods know where you're going. You know where you're going. Keep that picture inside of your head, Pisces, and keep going for it. La la la. Can't hear you. Fears, doubts, worries, naysayers, people who want to try to kick me down. Sorry. No time. No time for your bullshit. I see things for what they really are now because I have changed my perspective. And I'm gonna make it. You go make it. You will make it happen. You have everything you need. You have plenty of things that you don't need, but we already know which sword we want to pick up. We already know which sword we're going for. We're heading towards the divine, and nothing and no one can stop us. Challenging that deck. Come on, Chariot. Pull out that now. Let's see. Let's see if I can get that Chariot for you. Opposite of Chariot. Pair of fours. Tearing down and building up at the exact same time. Everything that will be torn down will be built back. It will be replaced. This pair of fours is the Job story. I told you that story on one of the rants. You should know Job. If you know the Bible at all, you know Job. It's a good story. It really is. Dude lost everything. Whole kingdom, all of it. Burned down to the ground. But he got it all back. Every last bit of it. And it came back better. It came back more fulfilling than he could have ever wanted, could have ever dreamed. And that is the scenario, that is the situation that is playing out right now for my Pisces. Is like, you had these things. You thought they were good. They were good, sweet memories that you had. We really thought we were going places and doing things, but they were fucked. They were fucked from the get. We didn't see that devil creeping in on us. We didn't see those bad habits, those bad intentions, those bad ideas, those bad thoughts. We did not see those things festering and poisoning this situation. We didn't then, but we do now because we flipped it. Because we decided to look at it differently. Good for you, Pisces, for doing that. It is not easy to change your perspective on things, especially painful things. Especially painful relationship or emotional things. Specifically, like with these cups coming out, like this hurt your heart. I'm not glossing over that by any means, because it's super clear that it was extremely painful. So good for you for changing your perspective, for deciding to go into the dark night of your own soul and look at things different. Start figuring out what it is that you actually want, what you really want to go for, and going for it wholeheartedly, completely. No holds barred. No, not anymore. We're building. We are creating. What is being destroyed right now needs to be destroyed in order to make room for these new foundations. We'll see. We'll be able to keep going. Oh, I think I'm going to pause here. And we're going to come back with your oracles. Because this is a really beautiful read for you. So give me a moment. I'll be right back. Alright. We return. We're bringing in a Halloween oracle for you. I don't know why I was like, let's do an oracle. Let me do that for the whole elemental group. That comes at the end, but Pisces getting a Halloween oracle. Maybe. It's entirely possible that I'm going to have to scrap this whole thing. The whole thing. This is extremely disappointing. Just struggle bus today. Forgiveness. I forgive myself for the giant mess that is this read. I apologize. And immediately forgive. We are reducing burdens. I can't figure out where F is in the alphabet. I forgive myself for that too. The wrong is done. Consequences you cannot deny. But to hold a grudge is to drink poison and to think that the other person will die. Being a cold season festival, Halloween is the perfect time to pause and think about how things actually are in our lives and what heavy burdens we do not wish to carry through these harder, leaner times. Some of this heavy-heartedness may relate to old relationships or grievances. Some may relate to negative feelings we hold on to tightly about others, and even a lack of compassion for the mistakes we ourselves have made. It is said that it takes a big person to apologize, but in many ways it takes an even bigger person to forgive. When we hold grudges, the negative energy is incredibly toxic. It is like drinking a poison and expecting that the other unforgiven person will die. Whilst we may even harbor feelings of revenge, and to be honest, that does feel good for a while, it is important that we move those feelings along to forgiveness and release as soon as possible for our own health and well-being. If you have chosen this card, think about who it is you could be forgiving, and that includes yourself. I forgive myself for putting this video out there, because again, it's a disaster of a mess, but it's a gosh darn beautiful message. Despite the struggles and the, distractions and everything else that has gone on through it, it really has been a process, and you need to forgive yourself for the messiness. You need to forgive all parties involved for how messy and how ugly things have gotten in the past. Let it be messy. Let it be ugly. Everything is like that sometimes. We all hit that bottom of the wheel, but the strongest thing that you can do in this situation, the best thing that you can do, the answer, the thing that this hangman has been seeking the entire time, is forgiveness. Forgive for you, forgive for them, forgive for the sake of moving on, for the sake of building new. You have to forgive the destruction and the decimation of the past, because if it did not fall to the ground, if it was not burnt down, we couldn't build something new. We couldn't build something better. We wouldn't have had room for it in the first place. So not only do we give thanks, but we also forgive. We forgive all of the pain and struggle and burden that we feel when this entire empire, this whole relationship, whatever this is, comes crashing down to the ground. Look at it new. Look at it from a brand new side. Something maybe you, maybe I, never even thought of before. Forgive. Have a fantastic full moon, Pisces. This Aries energy, this getting our head right, it's gonna be beautiful. So have a fantastic one, and thank you so much for coming out. We'll see you next time.